So far away, Lucas, the Arbiter.
Hell yeah, more Keith David, Karl.
More fucking Keith David. Far away, Lucas, as you often do, would you like to let the lovely audience at home know what today's episode of Wiki Weekend Days, Wednesdays, whenever these go out, is about today?
Yes, so we will be talking about the Arbiter from the Halo series, aka Thel Vadam.
I think that's his name, yeah. Thel Vadam. Believe it or not, the Arbiter has a name because folks at home who don't know, in Halo lore, the Arbiter is a title bestowed upon certain members of the elite race, or the Sanghelios as they are known. God, there's going to be some words that are difficult to pronounce in this one because they're made up fake words from Halo. And as always, you can find a link to the wiki we're referring to below. But we'll start, as we often do at the beginning, Thel Vadam. Homeworld, Sanghelios. Oh, the state of Vadam. Oh, Sanghelios. What a cool name for a planet that I hope I'm pronouncing correctly so Halo fans don't give me shit. Date of birth, December 10th. Oh, that is a winter baby. 2485. So pretty far in the future.
A little bit.
Do you think, like, in 400 years' time, when humanity's just, like, emerging from the wreckage of society, someone's going to be born on that day and be like, I share a birthday with the Arbiter from Halo 3?
I'd like to think that people still think about these video games in 400 years, but I doubt it.
That's the thing. When we look back now, stuff like Shakespeare is still pretty relevant today. Do you think in 400 years' time people are still going to be talking about Halo 3?
Did you just ask me if Halo is our modern-day version of Shakespeare, Karl?
I may have done, yeah, Lucas. Hey, come on, the writing in Halo's pretty up there. Anyway, physical information. Species, Sangheli. Gender, male. Height, 238 centimetres. 7 foot, 10 inches tall. So what I'm learning from this is that the Arbiter can dunk a fucking basketball.
Hell yeah.
You know he can as well, because there's that, the second level of Halo where you can pick up the skull. This is a fun bug, I guess, for people who maybe go back and play Halo 3 after watching this video. In the second mission of Halo 3, there is a hidden skull that you can pick up, which is one of the collectibles you can get throughout that game. And it's the only time you can pick up a skull without holding a weapon in your hands. And if you mash the button to drop the skull, because you have no weapon, you'll pick it back up immediately. And if you look at it from like your co-op partner's screen, it looks like you're just dribbling the skull like a basketball. So the Arbiter can canonically dribble a skull like a basketball. What a don. Mass, 145 kilos. Weapons, the Prophet's Bane, which is the name for his personal energy sword. The sword that uses batteries. Like, the energy sword is so cool until you realise how fucking stupid it is. It's a sword that runs out of ammo. Yeah. The one benefit of a sword is that it doesn't need ammo, but then you've got an energy one. And then we have a plasma rifle, Covenant carbine, a spear, and any weapon that can be picked up in the Halo 2 campaign or the Halo 3 campaign, if you're playing cooperative. So you can use every weapon in the world, realistically. And then we have his equipment, the Sangheli personal shield, his active camouflage, and his integrated armor flashlight, which doesn't work in any Halo game. Stop putting flashlights.
Flashlights are so bad.
They're so bad. It's like, oh, what's Master Chief decked head to toe in? $1 billion armor that can protect him from a fall from orbit. What do you equip him with? A flashlight that runs out of battery in 30 seconds. Awesome.
It also just doesn't light anything up properly.
And folks at home, pads and pencils at the ready, 'cause I'm about to give you some free band names now. The vehicles used by the Arbiter include Retribution's Thunder, the Seeker of Truth, Shadow of Intent, Forward Unto Dawn. Lucas, fucking hell, those are some names.
Oh, Retribution's Thunder?
The naming conventions for everything the elites have in Halo is fucking awesome. I love that every single one of their vehicles is named after a type of spirit or ghost or otherworldly paranormal entity. And let's see how many of them we can name right now off the top of our heads. And Lucas, we have the ghost, which is like the small one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The ghost. And then you have the spirits. The phantoms are the big ones. Can you remember any more?
There's the wraiths.
I fucking love I love how useless the wraith is. I just fucking love everything about Halo so much. And then, of course, voiced by Keith motherfucking David, a.k.a. Reverse Giraffe from Rick and Morty. I love how that's one of his roles.
Yeah.
He just plays a short giraffe. He's just a reverse giraffe. Like, you bring in esteemed voice actor Keith David. What am I voicing? A fucking short giraffe? Got it.
And doesn't he have like one line?
He has one line, which is, "Hey, it's me, Reverse Giraffe." That is... Oh, I've got tears in my eyes. Just this Keith David is so fucking cool. Oh, sorry, I don't know why that's making me giggle so much. It's because he uses the exact same voice he uses for everything else, so when that line hit in that show, I'm like, that's the Arbiter. Anyway, God, look, I'll have a sip of coffee. Affiliations, the Covenant Empire, formerly the Covenant Separatist, formerly the Sword of Sanghelios.
Oh.
Which is the new thing that he makes. He's like, fuck it, I'm the real Arbiter now. And then we have the battles that he formed in, and guys, again, pads and pencils at the ready. The Battle of the Rubble, Installation 04, the Threshold, the Battle of the Gas Mine, the Quarantine Zone, Installation 00, Sanghelios, Sunion. I'd listen to all those albums. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with the Arbiter, we have a brief description of the character here. Thel Vadam, formerly Thel Vadam, often simply referred to as the Arbiter, or Keith David, is the deuteragonist of both Halo 2 and Halo 3. There's a supporting character in a very bad game called Halo 5. He is the most prominent Sangheli shown throughout the games. And Lucas, thoughts on the Arbiter?
I've grown to really like the Arbiter, but the first actual campaign I played was Halo 3. And, all that happens is this big alien dude appears. Halo looks like... Halo? Fucking hell. Master Chief just walks up to him and is like, why the fuck is this guy here? And it's like, don't worry, Keith David's our friend now. I was like, what is happening?
It's like, look at what's happening. Keith David's your friend. Like, my favourite thing, though, about the Arbiter is that his armour is shit. Like they put him in the Arbiter armour and they tell him, oh, it's shit. It's like ancient, it doesn't work, fuck you. The Arbiter's supposed to die, and he doesn't die. Like, eat a dick. I'm the Arbiter.
I was going to say, isn't the Arbiter just like essentially a suicide mission?
Yeah, it is a way to reclaim your lost honour, because the elites in Halo are basically Klingons, where all they give a fuck about is honour. It's all they ever talk about, and it's like you can regain your honour by going on a suicide mission as the Arbiter. And just Keith David's like, nah, not today, not for me. Like, the only elite who possibly gets close to being as cool as the Arbiter is Shipmaster, the white elite with a mandible missing. You know that one?
Is that the Halo Wars one?
He's not the Halo Wars one, no, but there is a Shipmaster in Halo Wars, and he's a really good unit. Oh, he's a really good leader anyway, but he is just the white elite who you meet in Halo 2, who's unkillable and has a plasma sword that never runs out of ammo, and he's the guy you just like push through the level.
Oh dear God!
So he kills all the flood instead of you. And he's in Halo 3 and has a cameo, and he has the best line of anybody in anything, which is when they appear in orbit, they are surrounded on all sides by 1 million ships, and one of his underlings just says, Shipmaster, we're outnumbered 3-1. And he just sits back in his big space chair and just goes, then it is an even fight. It's like, oh, you go, Shipmaster! You fuck him, and then he wins! He wins!
Shipmaster, they outnumber us 3-1.
Then it is an even fight.
Oh, he's so cool.
Oh yeah, man, I only played Halo 1 and 2 in multiplayer mode at friends' houses because I didn't have an original Xbox. So I just came into Halo 3 and had no idea what was going on, but it was cool, and there was needlers everywhere.
Yeah. There's needlers everywhere, yes, but Shipmaster is like my favourite elite just for that one line. It's so fucking awesome. Speaking of good lines, I have a quote here from the Arbiter, which simply reads, "Were it so easy," which is him speaking to Master Chief. But my favourite quote, though, is just him just going, "Rawr!" when he pulls out his plasma sword and just sprints at the enemy. That's all he does. Because he's programmed as an AI partner when he's on low health to pull out his plasma sword and just go on a last-ditch rage charge. The problem is, his health doesn't change between easy and legendary. So on legendary, he's constantly just whipping out his sword and screaming. Because he's always been put on minimum health and getting knocked out and then getting back up. Oh, here we go. Yes! There's a great glitch. Again, if people want to go play Halo 3 after this, knock out the Arbiter with grenades, or push him into fire so he gets knocked out, and drop a missile pod next to him. He'll pick it up and it has infinite ammo.
That's so good.
So you just have the Arbiter with missile support. It looks like a fucking action figure. It's great. Missile support Arbiter. And Lucas, there's no powers and abilities section, unfortunately, but we can discuss the personality of the Arbiter, if you'd like to do that.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so, the Arbiter, like all Sangheli, is keen to do things in an honourable manner. I told you that as Klingons. He's just a Klingon. though he is more flexible when it comes to equipment, weapons, and vehicles. His hatred of the brutes doesn't seem to be as strong or destructive as that of other Sangheli. One example of this is when the Arbiter tried to reason with Tarturas in Installation 05's control room. I love that. That's a really bad boss fight at the end of Halo 2, where it's just an unkillable brute with a sledgehammer. It's great. Like, basically, just fight this wild ape with a gravity hammer. It's like, no, thank you. I don't want to fight this man. Tartarus' fucking forward smash is really powerful. I don't like it. He is shown to be true to his title of Arbiter, as he often tries to negotiate with some of his enemies, and will only kill them when forced to do so. He also has a deep respect for his fellow Sangheli, and a grudging respect for humans, specifically Master Chief and Sgt Johnson, aka just the unkillable badass with his unlimited ammo. Have you seen that? You played Halo 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Obviously. You remember this channel, you played Halo 3. Like, when you get to the end, and you've just got Sgt Johnson, and he has a Spartan laser with infinite ammo. Yeah. And it's great. And then he gives you it, and it has infinite ammo in it when he gives you it. I will say, though, that I did once accidentally use grenades to knock his body off the edge, and I felt really bad about it.
Oh, Carl, why? No.
Because you have that whole moment of him being like, quick, you've got to go on without me, John. I accidentally threw a grenade while trying to, pay some respects. And his body just flew off the edge. It's like, oh, Sgt Johnson, no. Do you know, I once, because I played so much Halo 3 that me and a friend of mine, we tried to break the game to see what would happen. Do you know that first mission where he's getting chased through the forest by brutes? Mm-hmm. If you use a grenade to knock him off the bridge, you can get ahead of him and he'll still get captured. And if you get a sniper rifle, and do you know the brute that forced him into a cage? If you snipe that brute before that conversation finishes, he'll still lock himself in the
oh, that's so
prison.
Good.
He locks himself in. It's like, damn it, Johnson. Despite being a former enemy of humanity, the Arbiter has shown a willingness to fight alongside them towards a common goal, even before peace was established. Thel was working with Avery Johnson to stop Tartarus. Johnson's aid in the fight with Tartarus and the fight he put up against him may have earned Vadam's respect. Yeah, I think you respect a man who sees a screaming space ape with a gravity hammer, and he whips out a shotgun and says, I've got this. That earns anyone's respect.
It's like, Keith, stand back, I've got this, don't worry.
He says here that he also showed sorrow at Johnson's death and said that even beyond death, the sergeant still guided him. That's a fucking strong spirit, that, innit?
That is.
The ghost of just a cigar-smoking, black dude with a giant laser on his shoulder. That's fucking awesome. Although he often conducted himself with honour and a measure of tolerance towards others, he was not beyond pride and impatience, and would sometimes act dismissively or condescendingly. Especially to Spartan Locke. Spartan Locke shit. He's so... Even the Arbiter knows...
Yeah.
It's in his name to, seek a peaceful resolution to all things, and even he hates fucking Spartan Locke.
Yeah.
Those who did not know him thought of him as stubborn and willful. He's a 7-foot-tall alien with a sword, let him do what he wants. And we have here combat, and we have another quote from Thel Vadam, which I heard a lot during the game when I tried to play on Legendary. Parasite, rise up and I shall kill you, again and again. Well, that's what he says every time he pulls out his plasma sword. And hopefully we can put this clip in, because many years ago on my personal channel, I played through Halo 3 drunk in its entirety, and I got to the penultimate mission where it's you and the Arbiter fighting the Flood, and the Arbiter just ran off the edge.
I think I've seen this, yeah.
And I laughed so hard, because the Arbiter just runs off the edge.
I'm gonna follow the Arbiter, because the Arbiter's for now. Let's fucking go, Arbiter.
And I think he said that quote. He just went. I was getting so hyped, if I remember correctly. It's like, yeah, Arbiter, we're going to do this. And then he ran off the edge. It's like, oh, God damn it.
Oh, Karl didn't know he was secretly playing with me the whole time.
Because I used to do that all the time. I'll tell you, when I play co-op in Halo 3, I throw so many grenades at my teammates to try and knock them off the edge. Again, if people want to play Halo 3 and do something funny, get people in a Warthog and then reverse the Warthog up to the edge of a ledge.
Oh.
And if they're on the gunner seat, they have to jump out and fall off the edge.
Oh, I love it.
So I used to do so many handbrake turns just off the edge of a cliff. Because it was my shortcut back to the base to get a sniper rifle. Anyway, Thel Vadam stands at an intimidating 7 feet and 10 inches tall and can dunk a basketball. That's my ad. Because of this, Thel struggles to put his hands around guns such as magnums and plasma pistols, and due to his height when sitting in the Pelican, he involuntarily takes up a lot of legroom. Man spreading. And just think about that as well. What do the elites call their dropships? Spirits. What do humanity call theirs? Pelicans.
So in like the briefing room when they were discovering the Pelican dropship, they've just like developed it. It's like, well, what do we want our dropship to be called? Oh, how about that big bird that holds thing in its mouth? Yeah, that's badass. It's like,
A pelican. I will say that my favourite thing about the Pelican is Foe Hammer. And if you've played Halo 1, do you remember Halo 1 at all when you get Foe Hammer?
No.
Like, Foe Hammer is the Pelican dropship pilot who flies you into an underground base, which leads to a Marine saying the now iconic line, "This is such a great idea, who's going to expect an aerial assault underground?" In Halo 2, numerous small graphical and gameplay differences exist between Arbiter and the Master Chief. Yeah, he can turn invisible for a start, and his heads-up display is different. Also, his blood is purple, which makes sense. The Arbiter is very experienced at combat, has an extensive knowledge of every weapon and vehicle currently in use by both the Covenant and the UNSC. The UNSC. The Arbiter expresses a desire to understand human weapons. Most commonly, though, his weapons are the plasma rifle, energy sword, and the carbine. In Halo 3, the Arbiter is a very useful ally against the Flood, unless he runs off the edge like he does in this clip, which we're going to show you again. When fighting Covenant forces on his own on Heroic and Legendary, however, the NPC Arbiter tends to be knocked out frequently for long periods of time. This is mostly due to his tendency to, and I quote, lead suicidal charges towards the enemy with his energy sword, despite the enemy being a great distance away. That is a fucking man right there, isn't it? Like, the enemy is just cresting over the horizon and he pulls out a sword. It's like, yes. This is the man I want on my team. Alien Keith David, let's go. And with Lucas, we'd like to end on some trivia about the Arbiter.
Well, let's go for it, yeah.
So, the Arbiter's weapon of choice seems to be the energy sword, yeah.
No shit, yeah.
Speaking of which, the Thel's personal blade is named Prophet's Bane after he slayed the Prophet of Truth with it.
Ah, that's cool.
That's so fucking awesome. Thel Vadam wears silver armour without mandible guards in Halo 2, and in Halo 3 he wears bronze armour with mandible guards, which means he upgraded it. He must have got some good loot off screen.
It's been grinding.
Oh, Lucas, this is so fucking awesome. And also kind of brutal. One of the Sangheli honorific beliefs is that only those with honour should deserve something as prestigious as a name. Thus, after his trial, his name and honour were stripped away, which is why he's only ever referred to as the Arbiter.
Oh, God.
Like, only those with honour deserve a name. They stole his name. It says here that only after great heroism during the Great Schism that he regained his name. So he had to single-handedly end an entire conflict with a sword that runs out of ammo to earn his name, to earn the right to have a name. In Halo 2, if you man the turret at the beginning of the level, the Arbiter will look all the way to the left, and you can see a Sangheli skull on Vadam's right shoulder. And it says here that Thel Vadam was the first member of the Vadam family to exceed the rank of Shipmaster, which is the best rank you can have. So he went beyond the rank. He's like Super Saiyan Shipmaster, let's go. God, I fucking love Halo.